class. And thank you, Carla. And then we can maybe have a little bit of a discussion. I'm happy to share anything that I've got that I'm showing you today. So, and even if you want some follow-up and you want to sort of like phone me or email, we can go back and forth. That's all very good too. The first thing I wanted to sort of ask you guys is, sometimes it's a little bit hard to pitch these things if you don't know the level of your audience. So let me ask you, where do you see yourself in knowing AI or using AI? You're so like more down the beginning end of things, or so like you're comfortable now with AI, and I'm talking about the full gambit of AI, or do you consider yourself a pro? So like if you're sort of like more at the beginner end of things, do you want to just maybe give me a thumbs up on the screen or in the chat? I got one. So if you're sort of like dabbled in it and you're sort of like comfort level is okay, give me a thumbs up. Some are saying in the beginning. Francesca says okay. Okay. So, well, let's start. I'll try to sort of like mix it around and pitch it to you guys. And of course, let me just start off by saying that there's more to AI than just ChatGPT, right? But for now, I wanted to sort of like just lay some groundwork or a baseline. Yes, of course, as educators, we have our own privacy concerns. How can we sort of like use a ChatGPT, for example, when a student can go on and write an essay? And how do we know whether they've used ChatGPT? So there's those types of ethical concerns, my number 4. Privacy concerns is data. I mean, we're putting in data, and the company OpenAI is using that to improve their tool. And there's certainly legal cases out there in the world at the moment. And then sort of like, how much do we rely on technology to do our work? And how much do we want our students to rely on technology to actually think? Sometimes I think my own students at the University of Tampa, they don't think. They want me to spoon feed them and tell them exactly what to do and how to do it. And I'm thinking, well, if I get them to use ChatGPT or any of the other AIs, am I actually encouraging that non-thinking? And then there's, of course, the cost. For teachers, we like free things. So I'm going to like touch on these things as I go, just to sort of give you an idea of where things stands. But in terms of the whole presentation, this is what I'm going to go through. First of all, I want to sort of like demystify a little bit AI and ChatGPT. Many of us feel overwhelmed that it's just out of reach for us. It's just too hard. So one of the things I want to work with you this morning on is a new type of term called prompt engineering. How to actually get really good responses from ChatGPT such that we could use them as a teacher. I mean, I know I've sort of like thrown in some stuff into ChatGPT and I've said, give me a lesson on X, Y, and Z. And when you do something like that, what comes out or spits out at you from Chat isn't very good. So sometimes your prompts need to be actually quite long in and of themselves. So I want to demystify that. I want to go into a couple of tools and show how we can actually use different AIs today. And just know, if I don't touch on it, what I'm saying to you or sharing with you is not exhaustive. I'm not going to go into how ChatGPT can grade for you or create rubrics for you or anything like that. Though one of the last things I'm going to share with you are 2 great resources to help you professionally develop on these elements of AI. And that's like my point number 5. Where can you go for more training aside from YouTube? So these are things I want to go through. And without further ado, let's first of all demystify. Well, some of the things that can help us demystify are going into a community of sharing, a community of practice. Now, the way I sort of like, and I'm no way an expert, I'm not pretending to be an expert, I'm still learning all these things. But what helped me start was going into a couple of repositories and groups. A group that I really, really, really like and I would recommend you join is, and I'm actually going to go to my very second last, is ChatGPT for Teachers. If you have a Facebook page, I would recommend you go to this, join it. It's free, of course. It has literally thousands of teachers and they are very active. There's teachers say, how do you do this with ChatGPT? How I need to do this. And there's so many teachers sharing various things on there. I must say I've learned a lot by just reading the responses of teachers sharing what they did. So this is a huge recommendation. If you want to learn more, log on to ChatGPT and connect it with your phone so you can always see it. You'll learn a great deal. Let me go back. Another nice repository is sort of like not a database, but it's called AI Educator Tools. It's now, this is my setup is a little bit funny. It's not letting me go to my desktop, but what I can do, let me just stop sharing and let me now bring that up. AI Tools Educators. All right, let me go back in. Let me screen share. And hopefully you can see this, right? Perfect, Jess. Thank you. I'm looking at you. You're my first face up there, so I'm looking at you to give me some responses. So as you can see, AI Educator Tools, and then you get this business. All AI tools, it's nicely annotated, tells you if it's, and because it's for teachers, they're all free, right? They do have freemium models where you can pay a little bit more and get some extra functions, but very, very, very nice. It is put together by Dan Fitzpatrick. He actually wrote the AI Classroom. And let me go back to my PowerPoint. Can you see my PowerPoint now? Thank you, Jess. So the AI Classroom is this. If you want to just like have some actually really nice reading, I would recommend you buy this book through Amazon. Really practical, and it takes you through step by step in helping you get your head around various AI tools. All right, so let me. And for those of you who would like the PowerPoint, I can send it to you. I've just got some links here, which gives you actually some videos to sort of like help you understand what AI is, what tools we can use in education using ChatGPT, etc. So, benefits. Let's have a look at some benefits. Well, we can personalize our learning or the students' learning. We can ask various ChatGPT tools to be assistants. I'll show you some of those in a moment. We can collaborate using AI tools, and we can access content, or actually better still, we can break apart content. And I'll share with you, it's actually an AI extension. And And if you know what an extension is, you can attach it to like Chrome, Google, and then use it when you read an article or use it when you visit a website. And especially for our ELLs, it's really important because you can click on the various functions of this particular extension, and it will translate, it will explain, it will give you other sites to go to help you deconstruct. So that's a little bit further on, but that's what I mean by access to easier content. All right, so let me just move forward a bit, and I wanted to like start on prompt engineering, so I'm not running out of time with you guys. So Harry Pickens is a fellow that writes a lot about AI. And the thing is, he's come up with 10 principles, which has helped me to sort of like really hone in on my prompts that I put into ChatGPT. And remember, when you put in a prompt to get something out of ChatGPT, you don't have to be happy with it. You can then say, oh, can you now refine? Can you now do this to what your answer? Can you now add this to your answer? So you can, have a conversation with ChatGPT to have it keep on giving you the stuff that you're trying to get out of it. So the first principle is be very clear with your prompt and specific. So if you have a look, I've got poor, better, best. So a poor prompt is write about some historical event. Well, that's very unspecific and not clear. A better prompt would be write about a significant event in the civil rights movement. But the best, write about the impact of the 1963 March on Washington on the civil rights movement. Okay. So be clear, be specific, which probably is a code for saying be detailed. All right. The next principle to think about when you're prompting, you're engineering your prompts, is include relevant context or details. All right. Because AI doesn't think for you. It's a language model. All right. So it can't get into your brain. So the more information you give it, the better. So principle 2, include relevant context or details. A poor prompt, write a story. Better, write a mystery story. The best, write a mystery story set in Victorian England featuring an amateur detective, and the best. And the amateur detective is called Sherlock Holmes, and start the story by describing a cold, wet, and misty day in London. All right. So, I mean, you're giving context, you're giving more details, etc., and it can start from there. So that's the best. So principle 3, use appropriate keywords or phrases. A poor prompt, tell me something about stars. Better, explain the life cycle of a star. A best, explain the life cycle of a star, including stages like nebula, main sequence, and supernova. Best is explain the life cycle of a star, including stages like nebula, main sequence, and supernova to a grade 4 student. Okay, or explain to a 10-year-old the life cycle, etc., or explain to an ELL whose language level is only at the beginning stage of proficiency, add lots of redundancies in your explanation. Okay, so those types of things will help. And we go to principle 4 is define the desired format or structure. So write an article on climate change, poor. Better, write a news article on climate change. Best, write a news article on the latest climate change report from the IPCC highlighting key findings and implications. Okay. Now, even interesting still, you can take whatever ChatGPT gives you, and then you can paste it into, and let me try to go here. Let me just unshare for a minute. Sorry. Oh, Stop sharing. I'm going to go to my website. It's being a bit funky at the moment, but okay, that's fine. We can deal with that.
Tony, I'm sorry to interrupt. You had a question in the chat. Can you use abbreviations like ELL, or do we have to write the words out?
You can train ChatGPT to recognize that. So for example, you can say English language learner first and then say, but from now on, I'm only going to refer to an English language learner as an ELL, and then it will do that. Okay, so sorry about this. So let me just go here. I'm going to go to InVideo AI. InVideo. Okay, so now let me go back. Screen here and here. So, okay, so we got to where I was saying, you know, ChatGPT is now giving you a text about something and you love it. It's like at the level that that you want it to be. Then you can actually copy and paste and throw it into this, which I've used too. It's called invideo.io/AI. And it's free. And what happens is it creates a video for you around the text. And then it reads the text in line with the video that it's created for you. And of course, yes, you might be thinking, well, I can just go to YouTube and find a video on that topic. But you won't find a video on that topic using exactly the words that ChatGPT just came up with that you've engineered. All right. So it's a nice meshing of the two AI tools. So again, InVideo AI. Let me go back to my PowerPoint. And PowerPoint. And now we're at principle 5. So set the tone, the style, or perspective. Poor, write about a day in Rome. Better, write a travel log about a day in Rome. Best, write a humorous travel log about a day in Rome describing famous landmarks and local customs. So I think you're getting the idea of prompt engineering. You get more better results, and I know that's not English, the more detailed your prompts are. But again, I sort of like started off by making sure I use these principles. 6, limit the scope or focus. So poor, write about World War II. When we go straight to best, write about the strategic importance of the Battle of Stalingrad in the context of the Eastern Front during World War II. Okay. Prompt 7, specify the target audience. Now, I already said before, grade 4. So poor, explain photosynthesis. Best, explain it to high school students using everyday language and relatable analogies. Okay. You can even go so further as saying, explain to a high school student using everyday language and relatable analogies, and keep in mind that you're using the Sunshine State standards. Those types of things. Let it link to that. Incorporate a clear goal. So write a lesson plan on Shakespeare. Bad. Write a lesson plan on analyzing Shakespeare's use of soliloquies. That's a bit better. Best, write a lesson plan on analyzing Shakespeare's use of soliloquies with the object of improving students' close reading skills. Provide a creative constraint or challenge. So best, if I go straight to best, write a suspenseful short story without using the letter E, where the protagonist is trapped in an abandoned building. All right, and gets the ELLs to start thinking about how they need to use language and what's missing, etc. And 10, encourage critical thinking and problem solving. We'll go straight to the best, write a specific scientific discovery and evaluate its potential applications, benefits, and ethical considerations, whereas the poor write about a discovery, scientific discovery. So what does this look like then altogether? All right, so here are some really good prompts incorporating all 10 principles. For example, our first example, write a persuasive essay targeting at middle school students, arguing for the importance of recycling, using clear evidence and real-world examples. Focus on the environmental benefits and provide a call to action. Or a history type of prompt, create a lesson plan for 7th grade history, focusing on the significance of the printing press in the context of the Renaissance. Design the plan to encourage critical thinking and include a debate activity comparing the printing press's impact with that of the internet. Okay. And don't be shy to add more detail. The more the detail, the better the response. And remember, you can train ChatGPT. So when you're thinking of, and sort of like lesson planning is the least, or so the easiest thing you can do with ChatGPT. But thinking of the components of your lesson plan, and we all know what goes in them, from objectives to assessment, etc., then it looks like something like this. And this is what you want to sort of like put in your prompt if you're considering, creating your lesson. Clarify your purpose, identify what you want to get out of your lessons, list the components of the lesson, identify the standards, identify any, the model that you want to teach by, if it's like teacher-fronted, student-centered, whatever it may be, or it might be a speaking lesson or a listening lesson. Submit the initial prompt, and then you start playing with what comes back. So have a back and forth conversation with ChatGPT to refine it, and then you start adding your real world stuff. You can even say, I like this activity, but then do this X, Y, and Z with it. Or give me a follow-on activity to use with your suggestion. All right? Suggest YouTube videos that I could go to, or even suggest a movie that would go with this particular lesson, but I don't want to watch the whole movie. Just give me the scene that you think my students should watch that makes the learning point relevant, and it will give you the minute-to-minute scene. So that's interesting too. So if you think then, putting this all together, again, you've got generate a lesson plan for a 10th grade social studies history class to understand the influence of the Enlightenment philosophers on the US Constitution. The duration is 4 days, 45-minute classes. Class size, you've got 30 students with diverse learners. And here you can actually put in how you want ChatGPT to differentiate your class. You can say, because I have diverse learners, please give me 3 sets of activities to do when I'm tiering my lesson. Integrate all the lessons, integrate Bloom's taxonomy, provide active learning, and align it with whatever standards. Okay. If you want to practice prompts, I'd recommend these particular sites. And then these sites will help you with your engineering prompting. All right. I have used all of them. I like the chatpromptgenius.com. That's the first one I put up there. It seems the most reasonable and user-friendly. But by all means, try all of them. So here's an activity that I have used for process writing. It really, really, truly works. And it helps the students. It incorporates chat, and so like I've used it, again and again. So read with me, and you'll get a feel for how it works. So first of all, you get them to read or watch something, some type of material, and that might be whatever video or text you want them to read to orient them to a topic. Then you can use a voice to text to record. So you say to the students, use voice to text to record your thoughts. All right. So they could do this on their phone. They can send themselves a voice email. And using this process, you're going to share your stream of consciousness. All right. So the students then they watch it, then they use voice to text to just get down their thoughts about whatever they saw, whatever they read. Don't worry about the grammar. We're just thinking ideas at the moment. Don't worry about word choice, just get it out there. So discuss what you thought about the material and answer any questions that were posed while they were reading or watching or whatever you gave them. If appropriate, connect the content to an experience you had or read about and personalize your analysis. We'll call that document 1. All right. Then you go, tell them to copy and paste that content, the text from their voice to a Word document. And then you get them to clean it up. So here now they're playing with language, thinking about the language. They're fixing grammar, wording, formatting. And then while it might not be required, you might want to sort of like have them go to Grammarly because, it explains the grammar type of thing. Or at this point, you can even say, whatever you end up with in this third step, throw it into ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to explain your grammar mistakes that you have. All right. And then you can say what to the students, say, get ChatGPT to explain the grammar mistakes and then create a grammar exercise to help you learn whatever that grammar mistake is. All right. Print it out so I know you've done it. Okay. And then we go to the next one. Don't miss one. So you go to ChatGPT, create a prompt for Chat to review and analyze. Like I said, you might say, review the following for college level writing, review the following for grade 10 writing, paste this second document and recommend ways to improve the writing mechanics or the grammar, etc. Okay. Whatever ChatGPT comes up with is document 3. And I'm calling these documents because that's what gets handed in ultimately. So that it's where is their work. So make edits to the document you submitted to Chat, follow the advice Chat gave you about the mechanics or the grammar, etc., and make your final draft. If Chat revised your documents, do not use that version. This is document 4. And then carefully create your new document. Copy and paste it, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Write a conclusion in which you evaluate the process. This is the student, outcome, experience of your writing, review, draft, etc. You're being evaluated on the interactive, and this is the most important part, on the interactive process of your final draft, to your final draft, as well as the quality of your final draft. All right, so you're going from voice to text, using the tools to fix up the writing, improve the writing, do activities to the grammar so you can improve. So each step is copied, pasted, the different documents, and the writing product of each process is what's handed in. So I like doing this, and they don't cheat, and when they actually get cheating and just getting ChatGPT to do it. And they improve their writing. So how are we going for time? 15 minutes. So what about chatbots? You've probably heard of chatbots. There's a gazillion out there, all right? But just so that we're on the same page, chatbots are like an AI tool that you can write into and hold a conversation with. So, I mean, they're not uncommon. They frustrate the hell out of me when I sort of like call a telephone company and you get a chatbot. and all you want to do is speak to a real person, and then they say X, Y, and Z. They're chatbots. So they've been around for a while. It's just like us as educators, they're sort of only thinking now about how we could use these chatbots to tutor, act as sort of like AI tutors to our ELLs. Well, here's a sort of like little piece in ChatGPT. And you can use train ChatGPT to be a chatbot. And when I say chatbot, we get the sense of that chat has to be speaking, but it can be writing too, a textual interaction. So here I said, I'm a grade 9 student learning German as a foreign language. I'm in an IB program at a high school in the USA. I want you to act as a language partner and ask me questions in German about going on vacation. Incorporate the future tense, because that's what I need to help on, and travel vocabulary. When I reply, correct my German and tell me how I could have written it better. All right. And this is something then that you might then have your students hand in. All right. And then so ChatGPT says, sure, I'd be happy to help you practice your German. Let's talk about going on vacation using future tense. So then it starts saying, and you can see the English translation. You can ask it not to give you the English translation, and it's purely in German. It says, wohin möchtest du in deinem nächsten Urlaub reisen? Bitte antworte auf Deutsch. Und wenn du möchtest, benutze das Futur in deiner Antwort. So, and then I write, ich möchte fliegen nach Australien. So I purposely put in an error there that this verb here needs to go at the end. And then chat says, very good. Your sentence is nearly perfect. Here is a small improvement. And then it says, and then it puts that verb at the end. All right. And says, and then it says, you got the verb right, but you should have put it at the end. So let's keep on talking. And then the conversation goes on. All right. So nice practice for your ELLs. Again, you can prompt engineer the initial first interaction and then hand it over to your ELLs and then get it to print out. There's different types of chatbots that you can use. Here's just a collection of them. They're fine. I do have to sort of like throw out to you guys that maybe you want to just choose one or two AI tools and then get used to them and then build on that. All right. Try not to understand everything or try to internalize everything. So again, start off with your prompt engineering skills with ChatGPT. Like I said, if you want, if you're creating text and manipulating different text to differentiate with chat and you want to make videos out them, use InVideo. I like this one, Wise One. And this is an extension that goes into Chrome. And what it does, let me just go here. Right, hang on. Right, you share. Let me go here. So are you seeing now AI educator tools? Brilliant. Thanks, Jess. All right. So here, let me go. Where did I put that sucker? Anyway, this is Wise. I did not. Got it all up nicely for you
Should have done
guys.
a 90-minute session.
We should have. My goodness. Let me find it for you guys. No, it's going to take time. So basically an extension is, this is my Chrome. You see Chrome, right? Do you see Chrome? What do you see now? Chat with your,
Looking at Book AI. Yep.
okay, perfect. So this is an AI, another suggestion I was going to give you, where you can upload, and it ends up looking like this. Any book, you don't upload the whole book, but basically what you do is, and again, this is like a chat bot, and you can have a conversation about the book. You can add any book, all right, even your own book. And then what it does, you can choose your language, all right, to respond in. But you can ask it anything you want, and it will then have a conversation about the book with you. And then again, you can ask it then to do a quiz you on it, on the book, and all those types of things. So Book AI is actually really neat, since we're text heavy in high schools. And then with our ELLs, they can really use an AI to deconstruct. The getting back to, let me go back here. Getting back to this Wise one, basically what it does, you can bring up any website, and then what it does is it will deconstruct any sentence. It will tell you what words mean in any sentence on a website. It will tell you, it will direct you to other sites or videos to help you understand the content of a website. So it's really cool that way. It's very interactive. It will highlight sentences on a website for you and help you unpack it. So I've used this one too before, because like even my university students, the new generation, the young generation, they don't like to read. So if they get some scaffolds like this, at least helps them with learning. So then I'm conscious of my time. My favorite tools are these ones. So just let me describe them before I try to show them. Gamma is an AI that creates PowerPoints. So what you do, you tell Gamma, I like a PowerPoint on this, 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 and this. Or if you've got meshing in your mind, you've done your prompting with engineering, and you've said, create a text that is for level, for LYBs, and it's on this topic, and use these words, and put some redundancies in there, and it's created a text, right? And then you can throw that text into Gamma, and it'll create a PowerPoint with images, etc. Remember, you can throw a text like that into InVideo, and it'll create a video on it. You can even then download that video and then throw it into Gamma too. All right. Or you can do it paragraph by paragraph, or slide by slide. And they're reading a text and they see a video on it. All right. So that's really cool. So that's Gamma. BitLife, and again, I think I got it up. I know I have it up. So let's share. There we go. Can you see BitLife now? Perfect, Jess. Thank you very much. Do you want to come and work for me, Jess? This is BitLife. It's sort of like another type of chatbot. I like it because it's sort of like really user friendly. You could add anything to it. Tell me about the weather in Florida. And then it'll let it think, and then it starts to and then you're creating. So basically, sorry, maybe I didn't explain myself. BitLife, you create a character on BitLife, right? So here I said, tell me about the weather. So now he said that BitLife is asking, who am I? And I'm a weather chat bot. All right, what do I do? Your main function is to provide current weather. How do I do it? All right, so then you go to next. And now, hello, I'm a weather chatbot. How can I assist you with weather today? tell me about the, oh, let me spell it right, the weather in Miami today. And then it starts, sure, let me check the current weather conditions in Miami for you. And then you start having a conversation, right?
Tony, you have a question. Are these tools free?
Yes, yes. I would not show you tools you need to pay for. Us teachers are poor, even professors, education professors compared to business professors. They earn so much more money than we do. So yes, all free, absolutely. And then well, it's thinking and all that sort of stuff. Now these ones you've got like with your free, you can talk about to it for so much, but then if you pay a little bit more, you know, you can have extended conversations and all that sort of stuff. But that's you know, like with most of this the AIs. Let me sort of like go back and tell you about then Storybird. This is quite a lovely, especially if you have younger ELs, and it creates stories for you. And you can tell it to create stories on different topics. Let me go now to that. Here, let me share.
4-minute warning.
Thank you, Carla. Here, can you see this now? Screen change, Storybird. All right, so you can then begin story. You give it a story prompt, tell it to give you a certain story. Tell me about Princess Carla, who is loved by her people. All right, and then you submit, and it does it with all the pictures and all that sort of stuff. It's creating the story. You can have your ELLs play with this, and then you can again mesh with the various tools, throw it into in video, create a video, etc. So it's created a fantasy, and you can download it, etc. Here is Princess Carla, and then the story goes on, right? And then it has various pages. There she's laughing. She's even got blonde hair like you, Carla, etc. All right. So that's a nice little tool, especially for the younger ELLs. And let's see that I haven't missed anything in my PowerPoint. Let's have a look. I spoke about ChatGPT. This book, highly recommended. And basically, just in conclusion, there's tools out there. Start easy, go easy on yourself. There's things you can definitely do, and mesh with various tools. So all I would say at this point is good luck and enjoy the rest of the conference, guys. Any questions? Any last questions? Let me stop sharing there.
You have a few in the chat here. Can you share your presentation?
Absolutely. So I will do that. The best way, I could throw it into Google and then send out the link. Have we got a sort of like process to do that, Carla? Did we set up one at all?
I'm thinking about the best way to set. We could always make last year we made a conference resources page on the website and just put all the presentations that people gave us on there. That's a nice way to do it, right?
That's a nice, and then we can share that. So yes, absolutely, we'll throw it in there and
leave it up there for a month.
You're welcome to it. Any other questions at all, guys, before the next session? Now, don't forget, if there's nothing, then there's always our book, Surviving the Pandemic. So you can go to the website and buy your copy of that. Melissa, thank you. I appreciate you. And absolutely, Renee, I miss you too. So take care, guys. Enjoy the rest of the conference, and thank you for coming. this morning?
Yeah, the next session starts at 9, so you have time to run and get a little coffee or tea. You can stay here. We have Francesca. I saw you here. You're up next.
Are you, Carla, are you stopping and starting presentations?
Yeah, let me stop your recording.
Okay.